Good day, everyone. We are the Group 8 performing our debate about Case Study 1. For the Agree side, we have Ms. Santiago, Pangilinan, Kapitli, and Mr. Tataro. And for the Disagree side, we have Ms. Ponce, Bulala, Gaspar, Simbulan, and Mr. Esguerra. I am Annie Jean Agbat, the moderator for the day. Case Study 1. The manufacturing process used by the company produces a byproduct that for years has flown into the town river. The byproduct has been considered harmless, but some people who live near the river have reported illnesses. The byproduct does currently violate any anti-pollution law. So our topic here is about waste management disposal. The question is, do you think that the company should be held liable for the illness of those people who live near the river? Who would like to start?
Permission to speak, please.
Okay, you may proceed.
Good morning. My name is Princessa Ponce, and I disagree that the company should be liable for the illness of those people who live near the river. Why? Because this waste disposal has been declared safe. So how can be the company held responsible for the people's health? Maybe they're trying to extort money from the corporation. And it's clearly stated that there's no law stating that the company is to blame for the situation. Why only few people are affected with this? The company is not responsible for people's daily lives, cleanliness, or what food or supplements they consume. Also, it's unethical for residents to cause some problem for company when it's already proven safe. That's for my standpoint. Thank you.
Permission to speak, Santiago? Why few of them? Because some of the people lives near the river ay walang sapat na lakas na immune system para labanan ang ibang kaganapan sa dagat kahit na ito ay non-toxic. Imposibleng walang chemical na nakaharm ng ibang tao, lalo na when we say product and company ay may mga chemical pa rin kahit konti. Yes, it doesn't harm people. What about the expired product or chemical? It is impossible to cook them in. They just throw it on river. I agree the manufacturers should be held liable. Why? Because ang kanilang waste disposal ay tinatapon sa ilog. Posible dahil sa improper waste management nila na ipon sa dagat at nagsansin water pollution at air pollution. Dahilan nito kaya nagkasakit ang mga tao doon. Dahil sa human activities sila, maaaring sila ay naliligo, nakatira sa dagat, kaya nakuha nila ang bakterya na galing sa manufacturer. May tinatawag tayo na ethical management is a practice of being honest and virtuous in our role as managers. There are several responsibilities and obligations of an ethical boss, including setting a good example and holding everyone to the same standard, following the company's rule communicating effectively, accepting responsibility, accountability, professionalism, trust, and mutual respect for your community. This example of ethical behavior ensures that you get the most out of your workday. That's all.
Permission to speak, Bulala. I'm sorry but I disagree. Mismo nanggaling na nga sa iyo, Miss Santiago, na walang sapat na lakas ng immune system ang ilan sa mga tao. So you're basically saying that it's the people's fault for having weak immune system kaya sila nagkakasakit. And also yung pagtatapon nila ng basura sa river was legally okay. Kasi naka-state na nga doon na wala naman silang nilalabag na anti-pollution law na, gaya ng sinasabi mo kanina na pollution na maaaring nakuha sa improper waste management ng company. At kung may ganun man ginawa yung company or may ganun man silang nilabag, hindi dapat wala na silang permit, di ba? And also, it also clearly stated in the case study that the company didn't violate any anti-pollution laws. And according to DNR Administrative Order number 39, series of 2003, Article 2, Section 5, where it is stated that in order to throw waste in bodies of water, they need to have permit and the results of sampling analysis of the wastewater to be sure it is harmless. Ang gaya nga na situation sa case study natin, wala naman silang nalabag na anti-pollution law, and that is the reason why they have permit to throw their byproducts in the river. That's all.
Permission to speak, Pangilinan. The product itself might be harmless, but as it flows in the river, get exposed to the physical environment where a chemical contamination can possibly occur. I agree that manufacturers should be held liable in cases where they brought harm and illnesses to other people due to their company. Firstly, it originated from their association. Secondly, it causes damage. And lastly, they should prioritize the community's well-being. Not only their company itself, if illnesses continuously arises, a legal action should be done. It's either the company should be inspected and if proven safe, the zone near the area should be kept away from the public, including the people living near it, to avoid health incident happening like that again. That's all.
Permission to speak, Iskera. Um, how can you say that a company is truly reliable in that case if you don't have enough evidence? And based on my research, all the companies and manufacturers need nila ng certificate of disposal. And this certificate is used to provide summarized verification of the asset disposed by you. Kung sasabihin mo naman na paano kung pinapatakbo nila yung manufacturer kahit wala silang certificate of disposal, hindi po nila magagawa yun. Ayon sa case na hinahawakan natin, wala silang nilabag na batas. If sinunod nila lahat ng procedure, hindi dapat silang sisihin. And do you think they need a license to dispose the waste? Of course, yes. You need to register if you want to dispose your product in that area. And either the environment agency or a local authority give the manufacturers an environmental permit that they are allowing this company to dispose their product in this certain area. Permit can cover water and air pollution and radioactive contamination and other environmental hazard. That's all.
Permission to speak cruise. If the manufacturer didn't control their waste and float in the river, they can cause illnesses to those who live near in the river. The most common illnesses is diarrhea. Kahit pa sabihin nating harmless ang isang byproduct, hindi pa rin dapat tayo magtapon ng kahit na ano sa river if wala namang benefits kahit maaring pangit at madumi ang paligid. And also ever you have the permits and certificates, you're still responsible in checking the situation of the river because maaring mahaluan ng ibang chemicals like natural chemicals produced by the river. That's all.
Permission to speak, Gaspar. I disagree because as long na hindi nakakaapekto ang basura sa mga residente, ito ay okay. Sinabi mo nga na maaring makadumi ang product but not in this case. These products may also dissolve in a certain amount of time so it will not affect the physical appearance of the surroundings. At wala din proof na ang mga product na itinatapon sa ilog ay may halong harmful chemicals dahil kung meron man ito, ay matagal na itong naipagbawal ng batas. Wala din na nagpapatunay na ang produkto na dumadaloy sa ilog ng maraming taon na ang nakalipas ay ang sanhi ng sakit na meron sila. And they don't have the words of a reliable source like a doctor to tell that the company is the one at fault of their illness. That's all.
Permission to speak, Kapitli. I agree the company should be responsible for clarifying the situation in the river because non-toxic chemicals may have other effects that can be mixed with some chemicals that are purely produced by the river. At sa loob ng ilang taon na pinalipad nila ang kanilang mga byproducts sa ilog, maaari pa rin magkaroon ng ilang mga epekto. First, itinuturing na hindi ethical na pag-uugali ang pagtatapon ng mga byproducts sa ilog dahil ito ay nakikita pa rin bilang basura at basura. And I agree that companies should come up with a solution to end the disease that people who live at the river. And also the company is liable to people who get sick because in the few years they have been throwing garbage in the river. It might have had an effect on the river as well. The company must be held accountable because in the first place, the byproducts came from them. They need to check for the people who were harmed by it. That's all.
Permission to speak, Simbulan. I don't agree. Why? Because every individual has own as own physical body that make a healthy body. Because if you're having sick in that way, ang ibang tao naman ay hindi. It's no longer the fault of the company. Is that the source of that river? Sa pagiging madumi nito. dahil hindi lang isang kumpanya ang nakatayo sa river na ito. They are not the only ones who will be covered by that river. You know that in the other places, pwede kang makakuha ng sakit. Try to make sure that your suspicion of that company correct. When disease you found came from the river, mas madaling masusolusyunan ito. Masama ang mangbintang sa hindi natin alam kung saan at sino ang nagpasimula nito. According to Article 326 of the Penal Code, prescribed that the crime of false accusation of denunciation is committed by falsity. That's all. Thank you.
Permission to speak, Tatar. I agree that the company is liable to those person who report illness. Why? Because think about it, maaring may possibility pa din dahil sa company na yun. Ang maaring naging dahilan why people around that area is nagkakasakit. Now, other companies sila ang andun sa maaring sa usok or something dahilan sa pagkakaroon ng mga sakit ng mga taong nakapalibot doon. And I will ask you, how do you know na yung company yan is sumusunod talaga sa batas? We all know that that other companies is hindi sumusunod sa mga bawat na pilit pa rin nilang ginagawa kahit bawal. Ang daming pwedeng maging possibility, hindi lang sa pagtatapon ng waste or something in the river. Maybe nga yung usok na galing doon or something. That's all.
To clear up the issue, the company can talk with the people and conduct investigation into the river. And if they are proven guilty, then they should have penalty, and if not, the people shall accept the consequences about reporting false information and accusations to the company. After that, the company should have a proper disposal of chemicals, even they have proven their products are harmless, to clear and that issue will not repeated. Okay, that's all.